Good to see you all. Thank you for joining for our 45-minute Vinyasa practice today. And the weather isn't quite cooperating, although I know the sun has come out. It's really still very wet at the park and a little bit chilly. The forecast for Thursday and Saturday are awesome, so it looks like we will definitely be out there Thursday at 5:30 as well as Saturday morning at 9 a.m. So come join us if you can. For those of you who were signed up for the in-person today, I'm sorry that we weren't able to do that. So let's begin our practice by just becoming present. You can let your eyes close down if that feels okay to you. And occupy your mind by bringing your awareness to your breath. So give your brain something to do here. Breathe in. Notice what that feels like. And then breathe out. We'll do that about 6 more times. Breathing in. And breathing out. Just follow the breath. Flowing in and flowing out. Such a simple and beautiful thing. About 4 more breaths. You can let your breath start to slow a little bit if you like. And 2 more cycles through. And 1 more. You can open your eyes now if you like. Bring your hands to your knees, palms facing down. Sit up nice and tall, but keep your chin level. Draw your navel in a little bit. Now just look to the left without stretching, no strain, and then to the right. And then back to center and over the left. We'll do this 3 times, and to the right. And last time, looking to the left, and then looking to the right. Back to center. Gently lift the chin just a little bit, and then bring your chin towards your chest, and lift the chin, and bring the chin to the chest. 1 more time through, lifting the chin, and bringing chin to chest. Back to center, gaze straight forward, pull your shoulders back and down. Now on an inhale, lift the shoulders up towards the ears, and then pull the shoulders back and down. Again, lift the shoulders up towards the ears and pull them back and down. And 1 more time, lifting the shoulders up, pull them back and down. Now just relax the shoulders a little bit. Right ear to right shoulder, head back to center, left ear towards left shoulder, and back to center. And again, right ear towards right shoulder, and left ear towards left shoulder. Last time, 3rd time around, and left ear towards left shoulder, and then back to center. Now, bring your right ear to your right shoulder, and then your chin to your chest. Left ear to left shoulder, and then lift your chin up high. And we're just going to let the head roll around at the top of the neck about 3 times one direction. And then when you're ready, back the other way a few times the other direction. Just starting to open up the cervical spine, feeling a nice range of motion. Maybe the slightest little bit of stretching. And then after about the 3rd time around, bring it back to center. Now reach the arms up and overhead. Bring the palms together, interlace the fingers. Now stretch the palms towards the sky and draw the navel in. Reach up even higher. Bring the hands back so they're right over your head. Then release the hands. Bring them out to a T. Bring the right hand down and reach the left hand over. Stretch out that left side body a little bit and make sure that you're pressing the left sitting bone down towards the mat. In other words, don't lift that left sitting bone up like that. Keep it pressing down so you feel a nice stretch on the left side body. Now engage your core as you rise back up and move through center and bring the left hand down. Reach up and over with the right hand and stretch it out again. Now inhale and rise back up, and we'll flow through that twice more. Reaching through the left hand, engaging the core and rising and bringing the left hand down and reaching through the right hand. 1 more time on each side. We will have done 3 on each side, if my counting is correct. And a left hand down. This is the last one. Reach with the right hand. Now come back to center. Take a very gentle twist to your right. You can bring your left hand to your right knee if you want. Draw a deep breath in. Draw the navel in, then look back over your right shoulder. One more breath here. And then let it go. Bring it back to center. Then flow over to the other side. Left hand comes down behind you. The right hand is on the knee. Breathe in deeply, drawing the navel in again as you breathe in. And then exhale and think about pulling the navel back and to the left. Do that one more time. Breathing in, drawing the navel in towards the spine. And exhale, finding that beautiful little twist. And then back to center. Bring the hands to the knees, again, palms facing down. I say again, I think we've done this, maybe not. Now bring your chin to your chest, draw your navel in and round. Bring the forehead down towards the feet. Now inhale and come up. Now lift your chin high, pull your shoulder blades together on the back, press your chest up. And we'll go through that twice more. Chin to chest, drawing the navel back, rounding the spine, and then lifting the chin. And one more time through, drawing the navel in, rounding forward, and inhale and rising all the way back up. And then release the chin so it's nice and level. And let's come to a reclining position on the elbows now, with the elbows pretty much under the shoulders. We're just going to work the hips a little bit. We're going to do it a little bit differently than we have in the past. So just let that left knee move over to the left, but keep it bent. And then pull the knee back to center and then over to the right, lifting that left hip up off the mat as you do. And then again over to the left and the right. And one more time to the left and then back to the right. Now, come back to center and straighten the left leg. Press through the heel and then bend the knee. Do that again. Press through the heel and bend the knee. And one more time. Press through the heel and bend the knee. And bring that leg down. Bend the right knee. And then off to the right side, opening up the hip as much as you can. Then bring the knee back to center and then over to the left side so that left hip lifts up. You're getting a little twist there. And then over to the right and over to the left. And one more time on each side, over to the right. And then back to the left. And then bring the knee back to center. And straighten the leg. Press through the right heel. So the heel's pressing up to the sky. I'm really feeling a stretch in the back of the leg as I do that. Bend the knee and straighten the leg. Press through the heel. And again, straighten the leg. Press through the heel. And then bring the foot down. Let's come to a seated posture again. And then roll over the knees and let's come to table pose. Now let's begin table pose with the hands right under the shoulders. And remember to press your hands into the mat. Also spread your fingers really wide like that. Thumbs are pointing more or less towards one another. Now press the hands into the mat a little bit more. And notice how my shoulders came up a bit. Now press the hips to the right. Keep both hands pressing into the mat, and then press the hips over to the left. We're waking those hip muscles again, and over to the right and to the left. And we're going to do it one more time. Hips to the right, and then hips to the left, and then back to center. Now, center the right hand. Press it into the mat right below your face, and reach the left hand up and overhead, and see if you can stack the left hand over the left shoulder and the left shoulder over the right shoulder, but keep the hips relatively level. Now bring the left hand under and through, tap the shoulder, that right shoulder with your left hand, then press into the right hand and reach back up. Do that a second time. Under, tap the shoulder, and then press into the right hand, reach up with the left. One more time on this side, under, and then press and reach, and then bring the left hand down. Center the left hand, reach the right hand high. We're just going to the other side now. Bring that right hand under, tap the left shoulder, press into the left hand and reach up. Do that a second time. Under and tap and reach up high. And last one, under and tap and then stretch it up. Reach up nice and high and then bring the right hand down. Now, move your hands back so that you find that alignment that we're looking for in table pose with the hands under the shoulders. And then take a step forward with the right foot. So bring the right foot between the hands. Then tuck the toes and bring the left knee off the mat. So you're straightening the left leg. Press back on the left heel. So you're really feeling that stretch. I'm feeling that in my calf muscle, maybe into the back of the knee a little bit. Now straighten the right leg and pull your head forward. Try and keep your shoulders nice and level so they're parallel to the mat. And think about reaching your head forward, keeping your spine long and as parallel to the mat as you can. So don't round the spine like that. Keep it nice and long, reaching the top of the head forward. I'm feeling a big stretch in the back of my right leg as I do that, in the hamstring muscles and all the way into the gluteal muscles. Now bend the right knee and bring the left knee to the mat. Untuck the toes on the left foot and then rise to a low crescent lunge. Once you're there, reach your arms up and overhead and think about pressing your hips towards your right heel. So the hips are pressing that way, down and forward. And then bring the hands down to the mat. And step that right knee back so it meets the left knee. We're back to table pose now. Now drop your belly and lift your chin. This is cow pose. And exhale into cat pose. Press your hands into the mat in cat and draw your navel up towards your spine. Let your head drop down. Do that again. Inhale to cow pose. And exhale to cat. And 3 more times. Inhaling to cow pose. And exhaling to cat. Continue flowing through. Inhaling to cow pose. And exhaling to cat. Keep it going 1 more time. Inhale to cow. And then exhale to cat. Press your hands into the mat a little more. Draw your navel up a little higher. And then come back to a neutral spine. Good job. Now step your left foot forward so the left foot comes between the hands. Then tuck the toes on the right foot, that back leg, and straighten the leg, pressing the left heel, or the right heel rather, back towards the back of the mat. Now, left knee is pretty much right over my left foot, and I'm using my hands to press into the mat so that I'm creating some sensation in the back of my right leg. Now straighten the left leg, and we'll do what we did on the other side. Spine nice and long, and hopefully my spine is pretty much parallel to the mat and about as flat as I can make it, nice and long. Now pull the left hip back a little bit and pull your right hip forward. And that'll deepen the sensation for most of us in the back of that left leg. And then bend the left knee. Bring the right knee to the mat, untuck the toes on the right foot, and then press in the left foot and reach up and overhead into a low crescent lunge. And that's good. Bring the hands down on either side of the left foot now, and then step the left knee back so it meets the right knee. Now walk your hands forward about 2 inches, and then tuck your toes and lift your hips, and let's find downward facing dog. Now we're going to be about 3 breaths here. My legs are straight because I'm pretty flexible, but I could also bend my knees just a little bit like that, just a micro bend if you can see that, or maybe even more. And when I bend my knees, I can press my hands into the mat and reach my tailbone up and back, and as I do that, I'm getting a big stretch all the way along the back and the shoulders and the arms, letting my head drop down. Now slowly walk the feet forward till eventually the feet will come between the hands. Notice I'm taking a nice slow walk, no rush. We've got plenty of time for our practice today. Now bend your knees just a little bit and then bring the weight forward into the front of the feet. And if you feel like you're going to tip forward, walk your hands forward so you can catch yourself with the hands. Let your heels float a little bit. Let your head drop down. So your forehead is coming closer to the shins and you're moving into a deeper and deeper back bend, kind of letting gravity help you do that. Now we're going to rise. Keep your chin on your chest and draw your navel up. Keep the weight in the front of the feet as you come up. Kind of drag your hands along the front of your legs if you want. Then once you're up, let your arms float up and overhead, and then bring your hands to heart center. Take a breath. Now reach back up, and then fold forward. This time come to a half lift. Bring your hands to the top of your shins. Press your palms into the shins. Try not to grasp your legs. Just press the palms into the shins just below the knees so that you feel a little bit of a stretch through the tailbone and through the neck. So you're reaching your head forward and pressing the tailbone back. Take a deep breath. And then as you exhale, a little bend in the knees and fold forward and let your head drop down. Now chin on chest, round the spine as you rise. You can drag your hands along the front of the legs if you like. Let your arms float high. And then exhale the hands to heart center. Let's go through that one more time. Inhale up and fold forward. Half lift. And exhale and release the hands to the mat. Chin on chest, round the spine. Remember to draw your navel up as you rise. Then let your arms float high. And exhale and bring the hands to heart center. Take a breath. Whew. Now step your left foot back. And then spin so you're facing the side of your mat, the long edge. So we have a wide-legged stance. Now reach the arms up to a 45-degree angle, and then bring the left elbow under the right elbow and the palms together like this. I'm not sure that everyone can do that. In fact, I'm sure that some of you cannot. If you can't, just bring your elbows together if that's possible, and then the palms together. Either way works. So either eagle arms, we call this, or elbows and palms. Either of those will work. Now lift the elbows up a little bit so you feel a stretch in the outside of the shoulders. Take a deep breath, and then as you exhale, fold forward and let your head and your hands drop all the way down. Now press into the pinky toes, bring your weight into the front of the feet a little bit, and come all the way back up, using the core, keeping your spine nice and long. I feel that in my gluteal muscles and the back of the legs. Once you're up, lift your elbows and your chin, look up to the sky, and then exhale, and gently and slowly fold forward, letting your head drop down again. Now press into the front of the feet, and slowly rise again. Lots of core engagement. Lift the elbows and the chin and exhale and bring it down. This is the last one. Press into the pinky toes and slowly come up. Big stretch here. Reach the elbows high and then exhale. Level the chin, release the arms, and we're just going to circle the arms around a few times and then a few times back the other direction. And now we got to do the arms the other way. So bring the right elbow under the left. So we'll cross the elbows the other direction. Lift the elbows up a little bit. Now hinge at the hips and slowly fold forward. Keep your spine long as you do that. Let your head drop down. Now press into the pinky toes and rise nice and slow so you feel it in the abdominals and the glutes. Lift the chin and the elbows and exhale and bring it down. This is the second time on this side. Press into the pinky toes, rise back up, lift the elbows and the chin, and exhale and bring it down. Last one, press into the pinky toes, nice and slow. Whoa, slower you go, the more engagement. Lift the elbows and the chin, and then level the chin and the elbows, release the arms, and let's circle them around again a couple of times. And then bring the hands to heart center. Take a breath. Now pivot on that right heel, bend the right knee, and just step the left foot forward so you're in a standing posture facing the front of your mat. Leave the hands at heart center. Press the palms gently together, but with the elbows down. So don't flare your elbows out. Hug them in towards the side body. Now hinge at the hips and slowly fold forward. Now come to a half lift and exhale. Let your head drop down. Bring the hands to the mat. Step way back with that left foot so the right foot is forward. And then bring the left knee to the mat. Untuck the toes. Press into the right foot and rise up. Low crescent lunge. This is our second time in this posture on this side. Press your right knee forward a little bit more and then bring your arms out to a T. Palms facing up, reach the hands apart from one another. Gaze straight forward. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, bring the left elbow to the right knee. Join the palms together into a prayer twist. 3 breaths now in the prayer twist. Work on stacking your right elbow over the palms and the palms over the left elbow. 1 more breath. Now keep pressing the palms together. Press into the right foot so that you come back up. And then reach the arms high Exhale the hands down on either side of the right foot and then tuck the toes and bring the left knee off the mat. Press back on that left heel. Now step the right foot back so it meets the left foot in plank pose. Take a breath in plank. And on your exhale, bring your knees to the mat. You can untuck your toes and maybe even pick the feet up off the mat. Now bring your chin and your chest to the mat. Notice I'm kind of in an inchworm posture. And now press the pubic bone down, bend the elbows, and come up into a Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. So you can be in a low cobra down here, or maybe a medium cobra here, or maybe a high cobra up here. One more breath. Good job. Release it all the way down. Now tuck your toes, push to plank, and then let your hips rise into downward facing dog. Now we're going to pedal it out in downward dog, being here for about 5 breaths. And by pedal it out, I mean bend one knee and then the other. So I'm bending my left knee and pressing my right heel towards the mat. The right leg is straight. And then I go over to the other side and bend the right knee and press the left heel down. All the while, I'm pressing my hands into the mat and keeping my spine long, reaching my tail up and back. You can go through another time or 2 on each side, pedaling it out. And then come to stillness and press both heels down towards the mat. Now inhale, lift the left leg up, and then step the left foot forward so it comes between the hands. Now bring your right knee to the mat, untuck the toes, press in the left foot, and rise up to low crescent lunge, a second time on this side. Reach up through the wrists, relax the fingers and the hands a little bit. Press that left knee forward even a little bit more, and then bring the arms out to a T. Take a deep breath, and on the exhale, take your twist to the left. The right elbow comes to the left knee, the palms join together, and if you can, reach your left elbow over your palms. And 3 breaths, just like we did on the other side. Hope everybody is doing well today. I know it's been kind of rainy. I know my mood has been somewhat gloomy because of all the clouds. We're just not used to it here in Colorado. But it's nice to have the moisture. Press in the left foot and rise back up. Back to center, reach the arms high. And exhale the hands down on either side of the left foot. Now tuck your toes and straighten the right leg so you bring the right knee off the mat. And then step the left foot back to plank pose. We're going to be here 3 breaths now. Breathe in deeply. And out completely, and twice more. Big deep breath in. And let it go. Last one. Big deep breath. And on the exhale, bring the knees to the mat. Untuck the toes. Again, the feet can lift up off the mat. Chin and chest come to the mat. And then Cobra Pose. Second one. Gaze straight forward. Doesn't matter if you're down low or if you're up high. Gaze is nice and level and forward. One more breath. Good job. Release all the way down. Now push to plank and lift your hips into downward facing dog. Stretch it out now. Creating lots of length in the spine all the way from the tailbone through the top of the head. Now, on an inhale, bend the knees and take a hop so the feet end up eventually between the hands. Let your head drop down. Now, arms come out to a T and bring the weight into the front of the feet. So hips are more or less over your heels. More core work as we slowly rise. You'll feel that in the glutes. The glutes are part of the core usually, or at least considered that way. Reach the arms high and exhale the hands to heart center. Stop and take a breath. And another one. And one more. Now bring the weight into the right foot and take a 3/4 step back with the left foot. And we're going to come into Warrior One. And I want to start with the alignment in Warrior One. So the toes on the right foot are pointing straight forward. So they're parallel, the foot is parallel with the long edge of the mat. The toes on my left foot is off about, a foot to the left of my right foot. And the toes are pointing about 35 degrees or so towards the front left corner of my mat. My hips are square to the front of the mat, and my right knee is bent. I can bend that right knee even more if I want, coming more deeply into the pose. And then reach the arms up and overhead. And now check in with the shoulders. Make sure the shoulders are also square to the front of the mat. This is Warrior One pose. The gaze is straight forward. Good job, everybody. Bring your hands behind you now. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Press the skin of the palms together if you can, and then straighten the elbows. That'll pull your shoulder blades together on your back, create a big stretch in the chest at the same time. Take a deep breath into that. And then as you exhale, keep your spine long. Bring the right shoulder down towards the right knee. If you can, rest the shoulder on the knee, and then let your head drop down. You may reach your knuckles up and overhead if you like. Take a breath. Now, press into the right foot. The right knee stays bent, and slowly rise up. Pay attention to your shoulders. Make sure they're still square to the front of the mat, level as you rise. Once you're up, pause. And then release the hands, reach them high, and then to heart center. Now straighten the right leg. Bring the hands behind you, and either interlace the fingers, or bring the palms together, and then invert your prayer pose so that the fingers are pointing up, if you can do that. That's a big stretch in the shoulders. All of us aren't able to do it. Now hinge at the hips, and fold forward. Come just halfway down, so that you're looking straight down, and then press into the right foot and slowly come all the way back up. Now release the hands, reach them high, and then to heart center, and then bend the right knee. Keep bending the right knee, and I'm going to move back a little bit here so I can do this. Keep bending the right knee and bringing your weight into the right foot until the left foot just floats up. And now Warrior Three pose. Press back on the left foot. Reach your head forward. And find Warrior Three. And then from there, bring your hands down to the mat into standing splits. I'm going to bend my elbows and let my head come down. Let my forehead come closer to the shin of that standing leg. And then bend the right knee and step way back with the left foot. Now spin the left heel to the mat. Keep the right knee bent and rise into Warrior Two. Check our alignment in Warrior Two. The toes on the right foot are pointing straight forward. Toes on the left foot pointing 90 degrees to the left. Relax the upper body. Settle into the pose a little bit more deeply. Maybe you want to press that right knee forward just a little bit more. Now bring your gaze forward so you're looking over your extended right hand, and then find extended side angle pose. Press into the pinky toe of the left foot and reach through the left hand. So you're really stretching out that left side body. I'm feeling a big stretch all the way from my hip through the shoulder and even into the elbow on that left arm. On an inhale, rise to Warrior Two. And then reverse warrior. Left hand comes down to the back of the left leg. Reach up and back with the right hand. Keep the right knee bent. So notice my right knee is still nice and bent, and I'm kind of framing my head with my right arm as I reach back. Now back to extended side angle pose. Elbow comes to knee, reach with the left hand. And then rise to reverse triangle, straightening the right leg. Left hand comes down and reaches up and back. Press into the right foot. Now the arms come out to a T. Reach the hands apart. Palms are facing down. Take a deep breath. On the exhale, press in the left foot and reach the right hand forward. Then let it drop down until your spine comes parallel to the mat. Maybe you're there, maybe you're not. Maybe you're up higher, up here. Either way is fine. What I do want you to do is see if you can open up that left shoulder a bit. So left hand is over left shoulder over right shoulder, and the right shoulder is more or less over the right hand. Take another breath. Now slowly bend the right knee, and then rise to Warrior Two. Take a breath. Good job. Now bring the hands down on either side of that right foot. Come up onto the ball of the left foot. Bring your left knee to the mat, untuck the toes. Now bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot, and we're going to move towards lizard pose here. Come down to the elbows if you can, and then hug the knee in, that right knee, towards the right shoulder. If you can't come all the way down to the elbows, you can use a block and rest your elbows on a block. I don't have one handy, otherwise I'd show you. Or a rolled blanket or a pillow or whatever you have handy there. And if you don't have any of those things, just walk your hands forward a little bit and bend the elbows so that your chest can come down just a bit. Now just notice the great stretch in the hip muscle on the right side, or the hip muscles. It's not just one. Take a breath. Now walk back up onto the hands and walk your right hand to the outside of the right foot. You may need to heel toe that right foot back to center. Now tuck the toes, straighten the left leg, pressing the left heel back. Now step the right foot back to plank pose. Take a breath in plank. Bring your hips down so they're aligned with your shoulders and heels. And now a vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga into upward facing dog. You can pause there for a moment. And when you're ready, lift your hips into downward facing dog. Stretch it out again. That feels so good. One more breath. Now on an inhale, lift the left leg up. And then a 3/4 step forward with your left foot. The toes on my left foot are pointing straight forward. And I'm going to spin the right heel to the mat and rise to warrior 2 on the second side. Again, square up the hips, square up the shoulders, and reach the arms high. Now bring the hands behind you. Let's interlace the fingers in the non-dominant way, using what we call the awkward grip. So whichever thumb you had on top last time, the other thumb is on top this time. And then straighten the elbows to the extent you can, drawing the shoulder blades together on the back, creating a great big stretch in the chest. Bend the left knee just a bit more. And now keep your spine long and bring the left shoulder down towards the left knee. You can let it land there and maybe reach your hands high. Let your head drop down. 2 more breaths. And press into the left foot. Left knee stays bent. We're coming up. Once you're up, press the knuckles towards that right heel. And then release the hands. Reach them high. And then to heart center. Now, straighten the left leg. Bring the hands behind and either interlace the fingers like we did before, or palms together, and then invert the palms in a prayer mudra. Mudra is any hand gesture, and this one is palms together. Now hinge at the hips and fold forward. Remember that left leg is straight. Come down halfway. Keep your spine long, and then press in the left foot and slowly come back up. Once you're all the way up, look straight forward and then release the hands. Reach them high and then to heart center. The left knee bends now, and now we're going to move into the warrior 3 on our second side. So bring the weight into the left foot so the right foot just floats. And then see if you can bring your body so that the body is parallel to the mat. If you can, press that left foot straight back, and the foot is about the same level as the hip. The head is the same level as the hip. So if you're able to, instead of bringing your head down, letting your foot down like this, lengthen everything out like that. Warrior 3. Now finish by bringing the hands down to the mat into standing splits and reach the right leg high. The elbows bend here, the shoulders drop down, the head drops down. The forehead comes closer to the shin. Maybe you can touch your forehead to your shin. Now bend the left knee, step way back with the right foot, and then spin the right heel to the mat and rise to warrior 2. I'm just going to turn to the other side so I'm facing you instead of facing away from you. which seems sort of rude. Bend the left knee. Gazes forward over the extended left hand. Remember to roll that back heel, or the back ankle rather, towards the back of the pose, the back of your mat. So you're anchored into the pinky toe. Now extended side angle pose. Elbow comes to knee. Reach with the right hand. Stretch it out. Now rise. Left knee stays bent. Reverse warrior pose. Right hand comes down to the back of the leg. Reach up and back with that left hand. So you feel a stretch here along the armpit and the left side body. Now back to extended side angle pose. Second time on this side. Open that right shoulder up. So if you've dropped your right shoulder down like this, see if you can open it up so the right shoulder is over the left shoulder more or less. Now straighten the left leg as we rise into a reverse triangle pose. And then the arms come out to a T. As we move towards triangle pose, remember to press into the right foot, reach the left hand forward, and then bring it down. And you can support your triangle pose with the hand on the ankle or the foot or the mat or the knee or the shin or the thigh, wherever you want. Pay attention to your alignment. Right hand over right shoulder over left shoulder. One more breath. Good. Now bend the left knee and rise back to Warrior Two. Settle into Warrior Two. And then cartwheel the hands down on either side of that left foot. And bend the right knee, bring the right knee down to the mat. Move the left hand to the inside of the left foot, and maybe heel toe that left foot over a little bit. We're moving towards lizard pose here, remember. Now come down to the elbows. Again, if you're able. If you can't, use a prop. And if you don't have a prop to use, just bend your elbows a bit so that you let your chest come down as far as possible. 2 more breaths in lizard pose. And 1 more. Walk back up onto the hands and heel toe that left foot between the hands. Tuck the toes and bring the right knee off the mat. Press back on the right heel so the right leg is straight. And then pick the left foot up and step it back into plank pose. Take 3 breaths now in plank pose. 2 more big deep breaths. And 1 more. And on the exhale, flow through your vinyasa into upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Stretch it out now. Now bend the knees and take a little hop so the feet end up eventually between the hands. You may walk there if you like. And then just bend the knees, bring your hands behind you, and come all the way down to a seat. We've made it all the way back to the mat, back to a seated posture. Take a breath and let it go. Do that again, a big deep breath. And let it go. Let's bring the soles of the feet together into Cobbler pose. And the knees are coming apart, obviously. I don't mean that they're falling apart. I mean that the knees are moving apart from one another. And the knees are moving down towards the mat. You might be able to actually touch your knees all the way to the mat, although you'd have to be pretty flexible to do that. Many of us are up here with the knees quite high. And a lot of us are kind of in the middle here with the knees off the mat. Either way, let your chest rise. You can pull up on the ankles to kind of pull the shoulder blades together on the back. Draw the navel in to help accentuate the lengthening of the spine. 1 more breath. Now, release the hands from the feet or the ankles. Reach the hands forward. I'm just going to turn to the side for this. Reach the hands forward so that the arms are pretty much level. Palms are facing towards one another. Now lean back a little bit so that your feet come off the mat. Then bring the knees together. And then Lift the heels up until the heels are about the same level as the back of the knees. This is an unsupported half boat pose. Now pull your shoulders back and lift your gaze up just a little. So if you're looking straight forward, it means you're tucking your chin a bit, and there's nothing the matter with that. I'm just going to work on a little bit different posture. Now lift the chin a little so that you're looking, kind of at that angle. And that keeps your spine more or less long, more or less straight, including the cervical spine. And now if you want, straighten the legs. Lift your hands maybe, point towards the big toes. Take a breath. And then release the heels to the mat. Reach up high. And then exhale and fold forward over both legs, letting your head drop down. Now with your chin on your chest, draw your navel towards your spine, helping to round as you rise. And then release the feet and walk the feet back towards you, bending your knees just a bit, and roll all the way down to your back. Reposition yourself if you need to, so your head is actually on the mat. And then walk the feet back until you can brush your heels with your fingertips. We're preparing, of course, for a bridge pose. Try and keep the knees about hip width apart. Press your feet into the mat and lift your hips. As you do that, rock one shoulder under your body and then over to the other and tuck it under the body as well. Take a deep breath and press through the feet and lift the hips a little bit higher. Do that again, a deep breath in, press through the feet, lift the hips a little bit more. And one more time, deep breath, lift the hips even higher, deepening the back bend. And then very slowly and with control, release the tailbone to the mat. Once it lands, hug the knees into your chest. You can use the hands or you can wrap your arms around your knees. And then release the hands, bring them out to a T, and bring your knees so they're more or less over your hips. Let your knees float over to the left, and then bring them back to center and over to the right. And back to center and to the left, and back to center and over to the right. One more time on each side, to the left, and to the right, and let the knees land on the right. Once the knees land, look off to your left. Take a deep breath and exhale and just soften into the pose. Just surrender. Do that again, a big deep breath. And let it go. And one more time, big deep breath. And let it go. You let your knees float back to center and over to the other side. So the knees are on the left now. The gaze shifts to the right. Now draw a deep breath in and surrender into our little spinal twist. Do that again, breathing in deeply and letting it go. And one more time, big deep breath. Let the knees float back to center. And then hug the knees in again and then rock forward and back. It's a great way to use your body weight to massage the spine all the way from the tailbone up to kind of the base of the neck. And then when you're ready, rock yourself to a seat. And once you're seated, just pause for a moment. When you're ready, you can bring your hands to heart center. Just feel the breath moving in the body. Feel the inhale and feel the exhale. And let it go. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me leave you with an offer of loving kindness. May you be happy and well, and may you be safe. May you be peaceful, and may you be at ease. Namaste.